Good morning. Cheers to you on this Monday. I was feeling inspired to come on, and I think I'm going to start doing this more with a little meditation and breath work, if you want to join me for that. And first thing I'm going to tell you is there are so many ways to meditate, so many forms of meditation, so many approaches, so many styles, which I continue to learn. So I'm just going to share some of what I like to do with myself and when I get to share with others and invite you along because I do feel like I'm concerned about a lot of us right now in our mental health, right? In our feelings about our lives and our concerns about the future, right? And how that's feeling for us, how that's probably weighing on us. And also things like the division we feel amongst people, right? So much going on. There's a lot of intensity, right? And so I'm finding it's so powerful to see how things like meditation can help us with things like taking care of our mental health and definitely improving our mood and for sure getting a handle on our mindset and finding ways to cultivate a use of mind, right? That's more effective and does lead to being able to enjoy life more, right? Being able to be in our moments and not being taken over with some of the harder, darker feelings, especially right now. Even though a big part of meditation is just to get a chance to see how we're doing, how we're feeling, and for sure, spending some time with those harder, darker feelings as part of freeing that. I've learned along the way that part of feeling the hard feelings is what helps us free them, right? To let ourselves actually just be aware of how we are feeling and doing. So that's some of what we're going to notice in something like meditation. I feel like the biggest misconception about meditation is that it's all about quieting the mind and how long can we do that, like it's a party trick. And a lot of us notice, wow, I can't do that for very long, right? So that's where I think a lot of us will fall off the wagon with meditation because we'll think it's about quieting the mind and we're like, wow, that's hard. I maybe can't do that. So we don't. And then we just find ourselves saying, oh, yeah, I should be meditating. Yeah, I could be meditating, but here we are not meditating, right? And then noticing how we're feeling, especially if we're feeling out of sorts, especially if we're noticing a lot of anxiety or really dipping into feelings of depression, right? Or feelings of anger, some of those harder emotions. The bonus though that I've seen is we can see those feelings as guidance, right? And if anything, guidance to do what we can to reconnect and take care of ourselves, tune into ourselves, right? And do what we can to tune up how we're feeling, which is I'm so into that, right? Whether it's things we're going to do with ourselves mentally, physically, feeding ourselves spiritually. That's where it's like a holistic approach, right? We just don't attend to one realm, but especially in looking at mind, mental health, mood, pretty fascinating to look at how these things can help. So it ended up being a little bit of a talk. I think I always have to start a session with sharing with you about why we're doing what we're doing and where I'm coming from. So let's dip into a little meditation. If you want to join me here live or doing this later, it'll be on some feeds on IGTV and Facebook and YouTube. So join me as you like. And hopefully I can remind you some of how meditation can feel, how we can use it, how it can be very simple, how it is something also though that we want to learn to be able to do with ourselves, for ourselves, right? So we could do it with someone like me who could be like a teacher or a mentor, a guide, right? But then eventually it's nice to feel like you can use it and do it when you want, in the moment, and you don't need someone else's voice or guidance, right? But that might help you at first, just to help you figure out what the heck you're doing in the name of meditation, right? And again, that's where you're gonna find there's so much variety in what you can do, in what you're going for with meditation. So what I notice, what I've learned along the way, I think goes along with more of a Vipassana style meditation, which, yes, is about allowing the mind to quiet, but it's also a lot about watching, observing, and then how we're caring for ourselves within that observing and noticing. So it is a lot about just listening to ourselves, not trying to battle the mind and the feelings, but more letting ourselves witness that, watch that, and coming from a place of kindness and compassion as much as possible, which is a practice, right, that I'm always working on. So that's really the root of what we're going to be doing here, is just taking some time to slow down. Yes, get a little more still. Yes, we could be sitting, laying down, but you could be in any position for something we call meditation. You want to be comfortable. There's no need not to be. And you could even be in motion for forms of meditation. This is something you can start to do with yourself on a walk, on a surfboard, out on the golf course, right? You start to see that these things are things we can do within ourselves in all sorts of moments. So you don't have to feel like you can only meditate when you're sitting on a cushion with your hands like this, right? Which you don't even have to do your hands like that, right? That mudra that's so famous out there. It's probably even in like car ads now. But yeah, there's lots of hand positions we can use as part of it. That you can play with too. So I think I'll encourage us to, sit or lay down, get comfortable. That's important. And we will get into some stillness. But if you need to stretch or move first to feel comfortable to sit or lay down, do that, because that'll help free up some stuck energy, get you more grounded in your body, bring you into the moment already. So do that. I think I'm just gonna like stretch my arms up real quick. And becoming aware of the breath is a lot of what we get to do, and we'll even add a little breath work at the end here. And I'm thinking I'll just go for like 15 minutes. We'll see, not too long. So get yourself comfortable after you've stretched or moved. Comfortable position. If you're going to be sitting, see if you can find a way to be more like upright so that your spine is more aligned. Symmetrical in whatever position you're in is just more ideal for energy flow. And then being able to relax, because a lot of what we're going to practice too is just relaxing, reminding ourselves that that's so good for us physically, mentally, emotionally, right? And can even help us reconnect more spiritually to get in that more relaxed mode, right? So getting comfortable, and before we even close our eyes, one invitation as the start of a meditation practice, which I really like, is to get into the space you're in as part of what you're going to be enjoying in your meditation, is just getting more here and now. So take a look around, look at the sights, the shapes, the lights, the textures in your current space. And of course, I guess me on the screen here is part of that. And part of this is just bringing in our senses more as part of reconnecting, tuning in, and getting in more of a meditative mode, getting into the moment more. So we're starting to see the sights more. And then as soon as you want, though, you could close your eyes if you want. You can have your eyes opened or closed for any sorts of meditation, really. Each can have its own level of focus. And if you're having your eyes open, sometimes there's an encouragement to like focus in one spot. So sure, if you want to be keeping your eyes open, watching me, that's fine. Or you can close your eyes. And then just tune in if you need to shift around at all to get more comfortable in your position, more able to relax, because that's really a big part of what we're going to do here. And a really nice tool that I really always love to bring up is relaxing the face and jaw. Every time we do that, like a domino effect, we relax the nervous system and the rest of the body. So I'm going to invite you to soften and relax your face and jaw, and we'll keep coming back to doing that again and again, because if you're like me, it like re-tenses up. You don't even realize it, right? All the habit. And then, if we want to have a position with the hands, maybe you could have hands down if you're sitting or laying down. And if you want to use a mudra, sure, we could use this famous one, index finger to thumb, which goes along with this idea about this all being about connection more, right? Reconnecting with ourselves, maybe more with our inner selves, our higher selves, with the universe, with life around us, right? So making this about connection. Settling into some stillness, relaxing the face and jaw, and then just doing what you can to just soften and relax the rest of the body. And then let's go ahead and add a little more awareness of breath. So slowly, gently, we could start to inhale a little bit more fully into the belly. And we want to be soft and gentle with our breath work because it is powerful, but slower, gentler inhale, ideally through the nose, into that belly, starting to fill it up like a soft balloon. And then it's really the exhale that a lot of us want to focus on. It might be the new news. So slower, longer exhale out of your mouth or nose. Starting to take time with that. Allowing yourself to let all the air go more, feeling your belly lowers as you do that. So let's just do some of that belly-shaped breathing, which is just really reestablishing that breath that we're born doing. That belly breathing is really going to start to increase the oxygen into all of our cells, into all of our organs. It's really going to help engage in it and massage the heart, engage the diaphragm more, bring in so much more of that fresh energy, right? And then the exhale, just as important. So you want to take your time with that. Slower, longer exhales. That's what's going to help you relax, going to help you release tension, tightness. I have my kitty here in my lap. Magic. He's here for our meditation. So just starting to work with that. Slower, longer, more belly-shaped breath. Taking time to do those slower, longer exhales as really the important addition for a lot of us to let that breath actually help us a lot more. Because if you shortchange the exhale, you can actually leave yourself more anxious, not getting a complete breath. So for a lot of us, focusing on the slower, longer exhale is the thing to really get that breath working better for us and that relaxation response working, right? The opposite of stress, calming us down, lowering our blood pressure, easing digestion, all the opposites of stress, right? So we're relaxing more, we're in our stillness, we're engaging the breath, and then we can just be aware of, let's start to pay attention to our attention more, which is really a lot of what we're doing with meditation. So letting ourselves just become more of a listener, getting into more of a listening mind is what a lot would say is a meditative mind, a more listening mind. So of course, listening to my voice is part of that, listening to other sounds around us, just starting to get us again more into our senses, more into the moment. And then also becoming more feeling oriented. So just maybe getting into the feel of the space you're sitting in or on, feeling the air on your skin, and also just taking note of how the body's feeling. And remember, now we're bringing in that non-judgment with this noticing and observing we're starting to do. And that's what's really going to be the therapy here. So as you're noticing what's true in the body and even what your energy's like right now, right? Still working with that slower, longer breath along the way. And then we also do get to start to become more of a watcher, more of an observer with the mind, right? We're starting to see thoughts roll through more. What is on the mind right now, what we are thinking about, worrying about, remembering, imagining. So we get to become more of that watcher with the mind is a big part of meditation while we're here. And we get a lot from that in finding out what's going on with us, right? Awareness and bringing in that non-judgment and even kindness and compassion with what you're going to be noticing is true for you, how you're feeling, how you're doing, how you're thinking, how you're focusing, right? So noticing all of that and seeing if you can kind of love yourself through that and keep using your breath and keep using your relaxing because that helps. And then, part of what we get to also play with is quieting the mind in between those thoughts or allowing for that. And I'm a big fan of just short moments of playing with quiet. So like 2 to 5 seconds of quiet. Could we play with starting to allow some windows like that of quiet? And we can do that a lot through just more listening, more feeling, focusing on that breath, right? Being in the body more. We can also use imagination a lot. Do things like imagine you could windshield wipe your mind. Picture that, see that. That could just quiet it for a few seconds even. Or maybe picturing something that's soothing and calming, like a smooth surface of a lake. Even if you just do it for a few seconds and it quiets your mind for a few seconds. And then it's just as helpful to notice what thoughts do come in. And remembering that's part of the therapy as well. So the whole thing as meditation, right? Keep breathing, keep relaxing. So we're getting to do some of both, some of that playing with quieting and just allowing the quieting, noticing and letting all these tools help us quiet. But equally as valuable is listening to the thoughts that do roll through, noticing what is on your mind, what you're feeling, what you're thinking, as part of how this is helping our mental health, mood, is just getting in touch with what is true, right? And letting ourselves even feel it, breathe into it, love ourselves through what we're noticing, and then also letting ourselves soothe ourselves with those quieting things we can do, right? And then the next piece that I feel is important to bring up, and then we'll do a little bit of breath work, but just remembering in this listening, in this presence we're getting to be in, this mindful state, right? Really here and now, breathing, relaxing, listening, feeling, and really listening within more, right? And this is especially if you like to be spiritual about things. This is where we can play with the idea that we're also now able to listen more for that aspect of us or life, right? So if you feel like you have an inner self, a higher self, your intuition, your truth, your heart, your soul, and or if you like to see it as you have a God that you believe in, or you're connected to the universe, or your spirit team, or whatever you call it, all of the above. This is your time to listen for that too. And that's part of why we want to be quieting and just really listening for ways we might tune into that aspect of ourselves, right? Whether it's getting visions that might come in of imagery of ways that maybe we want to go, or even solutions to things we've been focusing on, whether it's thoughts, ideas, whatever ways those things might come in, or just realizations, right? But that's part of the magic that we get to do in meditation. And again, why we wouldn't want to just think it's about quieting the mind, because then we would think those thoughts are failure, right? Instead of like guidance from above, right? Or from within. So I really like to share that aspect. Awesome. So keep relaxing, keep breathing, keep listening for all the good reasons, right? Re-soften your face and jaw if you need to. Re-relax your body as you need to. Anytime you need to shift or adjust, please do. No benefit to having your body say ouch and thinking you're a good meditator by sitting there anyways. You will pay the price. It will create problems. If your body says ouch, please adjust. I'll tell you that from my years of working with people in pain and getting them out of pain. So let's just now do a couple breath exercises that are really fun and simple, and will kind of center us, focus us, energize us for our day. So you could have your eyes open or closed for this part. Either way, we're going to keep going with this belly-shaped breath and a slower, longer breath. And so first, let's do this classic, just about 1 minute breath exercise that I'm going to simplify for us, called the alternate nostril breath. Very cool, calms the nervous system, centers the mind, reconnects the two hemispheres of the brain, does a lot of great for us. And it's just going to be another form of meditation as well, right? So what you're going to want to do is be aligned in your spine for this, relaxed. And I'm going to even simplify the mudra and just make it more like a California hang loose mudra, because I'm a California girl, right? And so with this one, what we're going to do is block one nostril for an alternate nostril breath. And so we're going to block the right nostril with the right thumb. Classically, we always start and end with the left nostril. And then breathing into your belly, you're going to take a slow, long breath into that left nostril. Staying relaxed about it. And now we're going to block the left nostril with the pinky and exhale on the right side. Stay relaxed about it. Inhale on the right side. Block the right, exhale left. This is a great anti-anxiety breath. Inhale, left side. Fully into the belly. Block the left, exhale right. Stay relaxed about it. This is powerful work, this breath work. You want to stay relaxed about it. Last time, inhale right. Block the right, exhale left. And this is just a short version of this one. Drop the hand, take a slow, long breath through both nostrils. And a slow, long breath out, mouth or nose. Great. And now just let yourself breathe naturally, letting that settle in. Remember how much that one is centering us, calming us, even reconnecting the mind and brain. Awesome stuff. Just notice how you feel. Great. And then let's just finish with one more breath idea. And this one's gotten pretty popular. I've called this one 4-4 breathing, and this one was even in my latest book, Feel Better Now. But now I've heard some people calling it box breathing, I think, because you can see that you're almost making a box with your 4-4 breathing. And again, with all these, we want to be gentle because it's powerful work. Listen to your body, don't overdo it. And it's all a form of meditation, so that's part of how it's really going to calm us as well. This one also calming, centering, really regulates and calms the nervous system, which we all can use right now. And this is one you can always use out in your day as well, anytime, anywhere. So ideally breathing through the nose, at least the inhale, exhale, you can breathe out through your mouth or nose as far as I'm concerned. But this one we're going to count on the inside along with the breath. And so the ratio we're going for is to inhale, counting to 4 in your mind, breathing into that belly. We're going to gently hold the breath, retain the breath for about 4 counts. Be gentle about that. Powerful energy work we're doing. Exhale to the count of 4. And then you're going to gently hold there at the end of the exhale for 4 counts. Be gentle about this. Do that again with yourself. Inhale to the count of 4 into the belly. Holding gently for the 4. Try to be relaxed through this. Relax. Exhale to 4. And then hold at the end of the exhale for 4 counts. Great. And you can do that one more time if you want, or if you're done with the counting, you can just notice how it's affected your breath. And that's what's beautiful about the breath work, is it's really reminding us how to breathe, getting us back in that mode, so that the rest of the day now we're just going to be breathing better. And also now this awareness with ourselves and our mind, and in the moment we can carry this into the day too. That's the idea. We've kind of like clicked back into this awareness and way of being that we can now bring into our day, right? In this use of breath. And then wherever you're at, remember that breath is powerful energy work we're doing with ourselves. So anytime, anywhere, we can breathe in to tightness, tension, hard feelings, difficult thoughts. Use that breath for the energy that it is. And right now, let's just breathe into any of that we need to. And remember how the exhale is what clears us, calms us, helps us let stuff go too. So do that for yourself and even see that and feel that, how that breath is doing that for you. Use that imagination. That's the power that it is, right? Awesome. And how about one more slow, long breath to finish it up here? With a nice, relaxing exhale to let the rest of it go that you're ready to let go of right now. Great. And just notice how you feel. More listening, more feeling, more in the body, more in the moment, right? More in tune with ourselves, more aware of what's true for us, right? And maybe more aware of now what we want to do in our days as we've become more aware of what's true for us today, right? How can we care for ourselves from here? And then, yeah, staying in this awareness with your breath throughout the day. I would invite you, whenever you think of it, get back to some belly-shaped breathing and using that to soothe you and keep you feeling and functioning better, whatever you're doing. Using your senses to be in your moments more, listening, feeling, and listening to yourself more throughout the day with that kindness, that compassion, that self-love. That's really going to be the powerful, transformative alchemy, right? And really help you be that for anyone else. And that's the best part, is everybody you love and meet today is going to feel the difference that you've taken this time to tune in to you and even tune up how you're feeling, right? So thank yourself for taking time to do this. Feel the changes you've made. And how about we'll finish with one more mudra that I get from my years as a yoga therapist, teacher in the world, that prayer mudra that is so centering and calming. And let's close our practice in that yogi way that we use that word namaste, which means the light in me, the love in me, the God in me, the divine in me is bowing to that and you remembering that in you, right? And like how powerful if more of us could be in that awareness right now, that we are all that. How can we remember that? How can we be that, right? And bow to that. So thank you for being here with me, and namaste to you. And until next time, sending you so much love. Namaste.